Hi guys, and welcome back to Uber Confessions. First, I'd like to take a small time to thank the 37 people that watched my video last week. I gotta tell you, this thing is about to take off like a rocket. Anyways, a couple honorable mentions before I get into this week's story. I talk about it on stage, but the third guy that I ever picked up was like a dude bra from Minnetonka, and I dropped him off in Interlaken, and he got out of the car and he left cocaine in my car. And being a guy that's not too versed in the drug trade, I just threw it out the window and drove away. So somebody who was on a walk got a pretty nice surprise, and then the walk probably turned into a run and then a full-out sprint because of the cocaine. Now, if somebody else was driving, they probably just would have snorted it up and drove around real fast. Yesterday, here's a funny story. I picked up a guy that looked like my dad. It was kind of creepy. He same balding pattern, glasses, mustache, and I started taking him to his destination, and he told me to shut the GPS off, and he would just tell me where to go. He's like, I hate that thing. I'll just tell you where to go. You take a right here, take a left there. So I was like, whatever. So anyways, so today's story. So when I drive for Uber and Lyft, on the door, the passenger door back there, I have a magnet that says autism awareness. Because I figure, why not, raise awareness while I'm driving around for my daughter Willow. Some people ask me about it. Some people, are completely oblivious. They're on their phones or listening to music. But I picked up a lady at an apartment complex who pretty clearly had like cerebral palsy, because she had the crutches and stuff, and she got into the car. And the first thing that she said, I really love your magnet on your door there. And I said, oh, thanks. And then I talked about Willow and what she's doing and stuff like that. And it turns out that she has two kids, a daughter and a son, that are 19 and 21, who both have autism. And the 21-year-old, the boy, I guess, is very severe. So she, at one point, just had to kind of say, like throw up her hands and say that she was kind of done, because I guess her daughter was not a fan of him because he was obviously kind of violent and stuff. So now he's living in a group home and I guess loves it. And she's like, I've never seen him happier. And she said it's just kind of depressing, because when they were younger, like, they were the best of friends, and they would like play together and read together, and they were just very close. But obviously, as time went on and the teenage years came through, and his stuff became more and more severe, I guess, they grew apart, and then the daughter just really did not want him to be there anymore. So now she is living with the daughter, and the son is in a group home. And it's just like stuff like that, with as difficult it is for me and Anita and Willow, and how tough it feels some days. It's like people walk in and out of your life like that to just kind of remind you that a lot of other people are having a tougher time, or they're trying their best, but it's even more difficult than what you're going through, and it's just a nice reminder. So she was a very nice lady, and it was a very nice ride. And it just, sometimes I guess you get to that point where you kind of do as much as you can. And I mean, could you even imagine, like, having cerebral palsy and then having two children that are on the severe side of the autism spectrum? Like, I can't even imagine. Anyways, so it's just a quick story. Maybe it makes you sad, maybe it brightens your day, maybe it's, who knows what it makes you feel. So, but today's tips, if you're an Uber rider, today's tip is, if a car is coming to pick you up, be outside, okay? Don't be an idiot, all right? You know how many times I show up to places and they're not standing outside, and the 5 minutes goes by and I text them and they're like, I'll be right out. And then it's like 5 more minutes. Like, I've gotten to the point now where, like, I'll give you 5 minutes, I'll give you 2 after that, and then you're canceled. I gotta go. I mean, I can't sit here all day. A couple days ago, this guy just keeps texting me like, I'll be out in a minute. I'll be out in a minute. It's like, nope, see you later. So that's the rider tip of the day. Just be outside. It's not that hard. Like, we're like 9 minutes away. What can't you wrap up in 9 minutes? If you need a ride and you can't wrap up what you're doing in 9 minutes, don't call for the ride. There's 4 million people driving shitty cars around Minneapolis that can pick you up in like 2 minutes. If you're not ready, don't push the button, okay? And driver tip of the day, I probably should have thought this through. I can't, sorry, scatterbrained. So the tip of the day is, if you have a bank account, sign up for Express Pay on both apps, because it's like the greatest thing in the world. Like, when you're done driving for the day, you push 2 buttons and voila, the money's in your bank account, which is a really cool thing. Like, if you're sitting there and you're like, oh shit, I got this bill that's due at $60, you can go and drive for like 4 hours, hit the button, boom, you've got that $60. So sign up for Express Pay, be outside, and tune in next week for another Uber Confessions. Check out markpoulos.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to get all the updates on new videos that are coming up. And please visit and subscribe to One Step from the Spotlight, me and John Russell's new podcast, which is a written comedy podcast about a retired morning show from Phoenix. We are putting a lot of work into it, and we think it's really funny, so check it out. Thanks again, guys, and we will see you next week for Uber Confessions.